Let's make a stitch pattern. This is the ripple twist stitch. It's a knit and purl pattern, which is a easy level knit. It is just one step up from a beginner level knit. It is a combination of knits and purls, and it creates a unique basket weave pattern using twisted stitches. These twisted stitches are like mini cables that add a little flair to a plain weave. You do not need a cable needle, so it's really simple to do even if you are a beginner launching into some newer, a little bit more complicated stitches that may look a little more complicated, but they're really super easy to do. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. To get the written pattern as well as information on the needles and the yarn used, please click on the video description in the link below to get to our blog. We also have a pattern for making this a full 12 by 12 square, as well as a 7 by 9 and a 9 by 7 rectangle for making blankets for Warm Up America. Also included is a handy chart, so you'll get the full written instructions and the chart. Be sure and click that link in the video description below. If you need the right or left-handed video, please click down below in the description and you'll see the links to the right and left-handed videos. If you are following the chart for right-handed knitters, you're just going to follow it as is. If you are a left-handed knitter, you will need to start on the other side from what my directions are showing. The written directions you can do exactly, but if you're looking at the chart, you need to work on the left hand, bottom left hand of the chart, and work your way over for row 1, and right-handed knitters will start as usual on the bottom right hand side. To begin, you're going to want to cast on. Your multiple is a multiple of 4, and it's going to be an 8-row repeat. This is the repeat right here. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 repeats already worked. So go ahead and cast on your multiple of stitches and we will begin. This one is 36 for my sample. Row 1 of our ripple twist stitch, we're going to start off our first with 1 purl stitch, and then we go into the beginning of our repeated section. So it is going to go like this. We're going to purl 2 times. So purl once, twice, okay? And now you are ready for your first twist. This is going to be a left twist. We're going to put our yarn to the back because it's going to be worked as a knit stitch. And we're going to be working with the next 2 stitches, okay? You're going to put your needle into the second stitch in the back. So we're going to be knitting in the back loop of that second stitch. You just insert like that, and then yarn over your needle that's in the back, pull through, that brings up a loop, and now you're going to twist to the front and go into that very first stitch just as you would for a regular knit stitch. Knit that stitch, pull up a loop, and drop both of them off your needle. And you've done your first twist. Then you're going to repeat that. You're going to purl 2 stitches and do another left twist. So let's do this again. Purl, 1, 2, and left twist. Put that yarn to the back, go into the back of the second stitch, knit, pull up a loop, go into the front of the next stitch, and you can put your finger on there to keep it from popping off. Go into that first stitch and just knit as usual, pull up a loop, and let those other 2 fall off. Okay, one more time. Purl, purl, then we're going to twist, yarn to the back, into the second stitch, knit through the back loop, don't let it drop off, twist going into the front of the first stitch, knit, pull up a loop, and pull the other ones off. And that's it. So continue that repeat until you have 3 stitches remaining, and I will see you at the end of this row. See you soon. End of row 1, we're going to purl the remaining stitches. So we just finished that left twist, put our yarn forward, and purl 1, 2, and 3. Okay, turn your work over, and we're going to begin row 2. Let's knit the first 3 stitches, and then we'll start our repeat. So we're knit 1, 2, and 3. Okay, So now we're going to start repeating. We're going to purl the next 2 stitches and knit the next 2. So you're going to be repeating those 4 stitches across. It's simply purl 2, knit 2. So purl 2 and knit 2. And repeat across. So all of the wrong side work is just knits and purls. There is no twisting on the wrong side, and it's a version of knit 2, purl 2, or purl 2, knit 2 on the other rows. I will show you all of the wrong side rows and what you start and end with, because they're all different. Only one of them gets repeated. So continue repeating purl 2, knit 2 across until you reach the last stitch, and you're going to knit that. So pause your video and I'll meet you back for that last stitch. See you soon. End of row 2, we're going to be knitting that last stitch as a reminder. Turn over your work, and we're ready to begin row 3. This row will have twists in it. Before we begin that row, go ahead, now that you've got a couple of rows on yours, now of course I have a lot more knitting, but now that you have a few rows in, you could go ahead and put your stitch marker on the right side row, and you can use this for telling what place you are in, like which row count you are, and then you can just move this up. So this very first purl stitch here was my row 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and place the stitch marker a few stitches in, maybe the 3rd stitch. That very first purl bump that you see on the 3rd stitch over, that is row 1. So the knit stitch above is from your row 2. All right, so now that you know where you are, let's begin row 3, and it's going to begin with a knit 1. And then we're going to be beginning our repeat, which is knit 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to make a right twist. So we're twisting the next 2 stitches, a right twist. The way that you do that is you actually work into the 2nd stitch first, into the front of that stitch, knit it, pull up a loop, and then twist it and go into the 1st stitch, knit that stitch, and then we just pull them off of our needles. And that's it. You're going to repeat those 4 stitches. So you knit 2, and then right twist, go into the 2nd stitch, into the front, pull up a loop, and go into the front of the 1st stitch, knit that, pull up a loop, and slide them off your needle. Continue repeating that all the way across until you have 3 stitches remaining. Pause your video and I will see you there. End of row 3, you're simply going to knit the last remaining stitches. So knit 1, 2, and 3. All right, now turn that over. We're going to begin row 4. Row 4 starts off with a purl 3. So you just had those knit 3 here. Now you're doing a purl 3, so it matches those purls from the other side. And then we'll go into our repeat. So purl 1, 2, and 3. And now our repeat of knit 2, purl 2. So we're going to knit 2, which is that twist, and purl 2. So you're purling into your previous knits from the other row, and you're knitting into the twists from the previous row. Okay, so continue that repeat until you're at the end, and you will have 1 stitch remaining, and you're going to purl that one. So it will actually end up with 3 purls at the end. Okay, all right, pause your video, I'll meet you there. All right, we're at the end of row 4. Go ahead and purl that last stitch. So the last 3 stitches are all purled. Go ahead and turn your work, and let's begin row 5. Row 5 starts with a purl 1. Go ahead and do that, and then we will start our repeat, and this time we're repeating starting with the twist. We're going to do the left twist. So we did a right last time, so we're doing a left. So the twisted rows, every other time it's a left or a right. Okay, so we're going to go into the back loop of the 2nd stitch, go back here, knit that in the back loop, pull up your loop, go into the front, knit that stitch, pull them off. You've got your twist, and then you're going to purl 2. All right, so you're just going to continue those 4 stitches, starting with that left twist. Put your yarn to the back, put that yarn in the back of the second loop, pull up a stitch, go into the front of that first one, knit and pull up a stitch, let those drop off, and purl twice. Okay, so you're just going to continue repeating that pattern, and you will go until you have 1 stitch remaining, and it will be purled. Pause your video. I'll meet you at the end of that row. See you soon. Okay, I misspoke earlier. You're technically going to the last remaining 3 stitches. That's okay, because you probably discovered the same thing. Oops, I have 3 stitches. You're actually going to twist these next 2 stitches and then work the last one. So let's go ahead and do a left twist again. We're going to go into the back of that stitch and knit it, and knit the front of the first stitch, knit it, drop it off, and finish with a purl 1. And that's it. All right, so that was the end of row 5. Turn your work over, and we're going to begin on the wrong side with row 6. We're going to start off by knitting 1 and then begin our repeat. We're going to purl 2 and knit 2 and repeat purl 2, knit 2 across until you have 1 remaining stitch, and that will be a knit 1. Pause your video. I'll meet you at the end of row 6. See you soon. End of row 6. Go ahead and knit that last stitch remaining. Turn your work over, and we're going to begin row 7, and that starts with a knit 1. And then we're going to switch back to the right twist, and we'll begin with the twist at the beginning, just like we did when we did the row that started that repeat the previous one. So we're going to do a right twist here. So we're going to go into the second stitch into the front, knit that stitch, twist, and go into the front of the first stitch, knit, and drop those off. And the next one is knit 2. So we're going to knit 2. And then we're going to do a right twist and knit 2 again. Go into that second stitch, knit, go into the first stitch and knit, drop the old loops off, and knit the next 2 stitches. This one ends up being a fast row. So go ahead and repeat those. Repeat until you have 3 stitches remaining. Pause your video and I'll meet you there. Last 3 remaining stitches, you're going to twist. So we're doing a right twist in that second stitch, going into the first stitch, knitting that, slide those off, and knit the remaining stitch. And we're going to turn that over and begin row 8, which is the last row of our repeat. And we're going to begin row 8 with a knit 3. So knit 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to purl 2. And knit 2. So purl 2, knit 2 across until you have 1 stitch remaining. So this is exactly like row 2. So pause your video and I will meet you back for the end of this row. See you soon. And you're going to go till your last stitch. However, the last 3 stitches are all knit, so I'm ending my repeat with a knit 2, and so the third stitch or last stitch is also a knit. Don't try and purl that one. All right, so turn that over, and that is your 8-row repeat. So pretty. So I suggest when you knit to your lengths, you just continue working these 8 rows, and when you get to your desired length, I suggest that you bind off in pattern on the wrong side row, and then you will have a beautiful piece that's nice and finished out. You don't need to bind off in pattern on a twist. So bind off on the wrong side and you are good all day long. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, be sure and hit that like button and comment down below. I love to hear from you. And if you'd like to show me your knits, I'd love to see them on Instagram. Just tag me at GoodKnitKisses. I hope to see you soon, and happy knitting. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.